Alperen Sengun was snubbed from the All-Star game. No yeet?
No yeet.
And the Rockets made a trade for Steven Adams? Let's talk about it. What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Summit State of Mind, presented to you by the Apollo Podcast Network and powered by Celebrity Mint. In this episode, we're going to discuss Alperen Sengun getting snubbed from the All-Star game, Steven Adams getting traded to the Rockets. We're going to review Rockets versus Pelicans, and of course, we're going to discuss our Dawg of the Week. As always, I'm in studio, so of course, I'm going to be joined by my two co-hosts. Of course, to the GM, to my right to the left of your screen, and then to the right of the screen, I got the big dog, DJ, in the house. Boys, Alperen Sengun snubbed from the All-Star game. Steven Adams is a Rocket. I just got to ask before we get into it, how are we feeling? Question mark? I feel like we can never get good news when we jump into the studio. Right?
Oh, man,
I mean, we took an L last night, and our boy took an L today.
Yeah,
what else is there to say?
Just more L's.
It's just an L on top of an L.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to call it Steven Adams trade a W, you can go ahead, but I don't understand it.
It's not a W till next season.
That is TBD, to be determined.
Yeah, that's a TBD, man.
It's a TBD deal. No, I can't seem to ever get us going in studio because every time we hop in the studio, it's always on the back end of a loss. And like bad news in between. So I feel like we've hopped in. It's like got to be like our third consecutive week in terms of getting good stuff. But obviously, let's get into it right now, boys. Alperen Sengun on the 6 o'clock hour on TNT Central. The Western Conference All-Stars were announced along with the Eastern Conference All-Stars. And there was one name that, in my opinion, I think we can all agree that was snubbed from the All-Star game, and that is one Alperen Sengun. Over to you, DJ, first. We brought our cases forward. We know why he deserves to be an All-Star. I mean, he's earned it, right? Like, what is your feeling in regards to that? Is it justified? Like, we saw the All-Stars that were announced on the reserves. It's just justified? What do you think?
I mean, you can make it, because it wasn't just Sengun. Shout out to Fox, Houston native. But the numbers speak for itself. And I think, honestly, if we would have had a better team record, because I think most of these all-star reserves and selections are based, or some of them are based on team records. I think if we would have had a better team record, I think Sengun would have got in clearly.
Yeah.
But,
right.
I mean, I don't know. I'm disappointed because, you know, the man has been putting in the work all season. He's been somewhat consistent. Yes, he has like a few games where he has a bad stretch, but if you ask anybody around the league, the man is a force. He's, you know what I'm saying, like he's making a name for himself, and
he's done enough.
He's done enough.
I thought
he done enough. I thought he done enough.
I think he's done more than. Well, at first it was so funny. I was looking at this. I see Anthony Davis's name, and I was like, Anthony Davis, what the fuck? What did he do? You know, because all I can think about is like he's been injured like half the season. But then I look at the stats. Okay, 24-12. Son of a bitch. All right.
He's been relatively healthy this year.
He's been
relatively healthy.
Yeah, I'll give it to him.
He's been
If we want to talk about one person that I thought he should have got over, one name is Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, Cat. It's got to be because of the number one seed, right?
It got to be.
Are they 1 or 2?
It's got to be. They've been hovering around.
Yeah, they beat the Thunder the other night, and they regained the number 1 spot.
Okay,
but I mean, look at the numbers, because StatMuse, shout out to them, they put it on their Twitter. They was like, the left is an all-star, and it was Cat, and the right isn't. And I think the only thing that Cat has over Sengun is, you can say, defense, and then like points. I mean, it's only a 1 point difference in points. Other than that, Sengun's a better shooter. He's a better rebounder. He's a better passer. I think he's a better offensive talent. Well, besides the 3-point shooting, because I think Karl is one of the best shooting bigs in the league. I think Sengun had a case. I think he really did have a case. It's disappointing though.
A strong case at that.
He had a strong case. And I think, my bad.
No, go ahead. No, finish it up. Finish strong.
TNT
finished stronger than the Rockets last night.
TNT also acknowledged it too. They was like, Sengun had a case because I think
They mentioned it.
Yeah, they mentioned
I wasn't able
it.
to watch.
Yeah, I watched it. Kenny
good.
Smith was like, yeah, Alperen Sengun, man,
Former Rocket.
Yeah, and then Ernie Johnson was like, yeah, man, he's been on a tear this year as well. I mean, he could have had a case too. So yeah, it's disappointing, but he's gonna get in one day. He's gonna be a multiple time All-Star.
I agree.
I'm not crossing fingers for injuries. However,
I'm not either.
I don't think you star players need to risk possible injury by the All-Star game. So if you choose to sit, hey, by all means.
Well, I mean,
GM over to you right now. What are we thinking? Alperen Sengun. We've made a case most of the year in regards to that.
Yeah.
News is official, at least until we get any injury replacements. But as of now, as it stands, Alperen Sengun got snubbed from the All-Star game.
Yeah.
How are we feeling?
I mean, it's still a week away, right? Or is it 2 weeks away?
I think a week, not next week.
A week and a half. Right.
Is it 2 weeks away?
Either a week and a half or two.
Because is it after the deadline?
Yeah.
It's definitely after the deadline.
I don't know if it's next week or 2 weeks from now, but I mean, there's still time in terms of like injuries. I mean, you can have veterans bow out, which happens normally. So, I mean, there's anything that can occur, especially with the Lakers. You never know what's going to happen. But with all that being said, we can all be down bad and angry and sad about it, but I view it more so kind of like the Baseball Hall of Fame. He probably was at like 70% of the votes. Next year he'll get 75, I think that with the fact that you stated, DJ, that TNT, Kenny Smith and Ernie Johnson acknowledging that Alp did have his own case to join the All-Star game, I think that will roll over into next year and he will eventually make it. I just think now the coaches probably feel that it's time to reward guys like Karl-Anthony Towns because of the fact that Minnesota is winning and they're just killing the game. And, I get it. I'm not going to be where I feel like Houston should be slighted in the sense, but I do think that I agree with DJ. In terms of record matters. And unfortunately, the Rockets are not doing too great. We're decent enough to where we're hovering around the play-in, but when it pertains to All-Stars, outside of that, who's the only one with a really bad record? Steph?
Yeah, Steph and the Lakers. Yeah, because Steph is like 20, or the Warriors are 20-24, and then the Lakers.
So they're about the same as us.
Yeah, about the same.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's the Lakers and the Warriors, which are the two media darlings of the entire NBA.
Yeah,
so
those guys are.
They're gonna make it.
They're gonna get in
it,
regardless. Yeah. I mean, AD putting up 24 and 12 pretty much says it all.
I mean, he doesn't.
But
played like
30
games.
the media loves the California teams,
the media,
especially the Lakers.
Media darlings, man.
The narratives have been formulated. People have been picking the Lakers to win it all for years, despite how much they've struggled. So I mean, it's kind of one of those things where the coaches, obviously coaches were the ones that voted. They see things and they're gonna give it to the guys like the vets, like we stated. I saw on Twitter that they might lean towards vets and. That's okay. Alp's still 21. Mm-hmm. You got plenty of years left, bud. And you know what? You're going to get the All-Star. You're going to get the nod.
No
but
I mean, barring injury this year?
No, I'm feeling selfish this year.
I respect it.
I want him to make the All-Star team.
I mean, we need all the dubs we can.
I need it. Yeah. We didn't win the in-season tournament.
Man, don't get me.
You know what I mean?
I wanted that.
I didn't get my in-season tournament shirt.
That.
My in-season tournament champ shirt.
Yeah.
Now I don't get my Alperen Sengun All-Star shirt.
Yeah.
I need something. I'm not going to get a Steven Adams jersey, not right now, which we'll talk about in our next segment. But, I believe that, in my opinion, and the thing is when it comes to the NBA, the media, it's very narrative-driven. I knew, the reserves were chosen by the coaches and players and stuff of that nature. However, Alperen Sengun was doing a bunch of media rounds too on top of it. I mean, he's been performing, and I think both of y'all make a strong case in the sense that if the record was better, if the Rockets were over 500, maybe that would have been stronger for Alperen Sengun. But it's such a shame too because when you're a center, you essentially get slapped into the front court. So the front court is small forwards, power forwards, centers.
Yeah.
So you get gobbled up with LeBron and Anthony Davis, Karl-Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards, all the front court players.
Would you count Anthony Edwards as a small forward? Or is he
he's a two guard. Two guard?
He
flips. He flips. Well, he flips.
Yeah, he flips.
I guess he'd be
because I think
classified as a two guard.
even the starting lineup, they have him at the 2. It's him
and
he
flips to the 3.
Yeah, it's him and McDaniels that's starting at the 2 and 3.
They just end up having all these players that end up playing different multiple positions. However,
Yeah.
I don't know. Alperen Sengun deserves to be an all-star. I'm not happy. I want to know what y'all think right now. Drop a comment on YouTube. How are you feeling about Alperen Sengun getting snubbed from the All-Star game? Here, I'll give you two ways you can answer. You can answer it with a yeet, or if you're unhappy
yeet.
like the rest of us, you can answer with a
No yeet.
No yeet.
no yeet.
I want to give a shout out to Turkey though, because they showed out for him. I mean,
Oh, they did.
top five in the front
Top
court.
5?
Yeah.
Come
Hey,
on
shout
now.
out to Turkey for him.
They're going to show out even more next year.
Dude, next
Yeah.
year.
That's
Oh
gonna be
my
crazy.
gosh,
I'm telling
dude. He's going to finish
Yeah.
top 3, dude.
God.
That all-star starting numbers is going to hit so hard. He's not even just going to make it as reserve. It's going to start. He, motherfucker
man.
is going to start. As LeBron and them kind of slide away
Yep.
and fade into the distance and retire
Yep.
and go on the retirement tour, Alperen Sengun will be there. So even if he doesn't make it this year, you guys are absolutely right. He'll make it next year. So in that case, I'll give it a yeet. Next year will be a yeet. So we'll see.
Oh yeah.
Next yeet.
Next yeet.
Next
Oh, wow.
Sorry.
You know what?
I couldn't help
we
myself,
can take
guys.
all the dubs we can get at this point.
Oh, my God.
We'll take it. We'll take it.
Take it, man.
Let's go ahead and move on now, boys, to our next segment. Obviously, it slides in perfectly with this because with the reserves getting announced, an All-Star game coming around the corner, there's another big day that's coming around the corner as well. 1 week from today, and that is the NBA trade deadline. And of course, the Rockets made their first, I was not going to say splash, I was going to say puddle in the deadline.
Is it even a puddle?
I don't know what you want to call it.
What you want to call
A
it,
raindrop.
Yeah,
Call it a raindrop.
raindrop.
In the
Raindrop.
dead-
There you
in
go.
the NBA trade, we'll call it a raindrop. Raindrop in the trade deadline. The Houston Rockets officially make a trade with the Memphis Grizzlies, trading Victor Oladipo and 3 second-round picks for Steven Adams, the crown jewel of New Zealand athletes, New Zealand's greatest export. A great career, a solid career.
Solid.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
on paper, go Google Steven Adams right now. You look at his stats; it looks fantastic. All the stats from the latest is going to be up till last year. Why? Because he has not played this year. That's the crux in all of this: is that he has not played, and he will not play. He is out for the entire year. So essentially, boys, this trade brings, it does not bring immediate success. You will not see Steven Adams in a Rocket uniform until next year, barring another trade, obviously. Justin, I'll pass it over to you first. First deadline deal to get done, terms for the Houston Rockets. Steven Adams is now a Rocket. With everything that you kind of know now, he's not playing. What do you think of the deal?
I think going into next year, I think he's going to help Alperen Sengun a lot. Defensively, he was always very stout. Him playing in OKC with Russell Westbrook in those days, him and KD as well, they were a problem in the West. I mean, granted, Steven Adams is old. If anyone remembers, he was the pick that the Houston Rockets traded to OKC for James Harden in the James Harden deal. So Steven Adams, this is coming full circle for his career, getting sent to Houston. If anyone recalls, he's a tough dude, and he is someone that doesn't take shit from anybody. He sets, really intense, stern screens, and this team can use it. Someone like a Jaylen Green and Ben Thompson. That will go a long way in terms of trying to run a pick and roll or just allowing themselves to get free. Defensively, he's very stout. He's not the most athletic dude, but he is strong and he is stern. He will be someone in practice day in and day out that can challenge Alp. And that'll be good for him in terms of the long term.
He's one of the best backup bigs.
Yeah,
in
I
the
would
NBA,
definitely say so.
by far.
At this point, yeah, absolutely. He was starting in Memphis before. I feel like allowing him to play behind Sengun will be able to have a different identity for this team off the bench next year. Wish it was this year, but hey, man, everyone is clamoring for their backup big, but we got a backup big that can't play this year.
Yeah.
How does it feel, guys? But I mean, overall,
Feels horrible.
yeah,
Was that rhetorical? What are you trying to say? That sounds horrible.
it is. It is.
That doesn't
I
sound,
mean, it
DJ,
is.
does that sound great to you?
It is. It isn't what we wanted. The irony is that we did want
Yeah.
the big, but we got the big. But that at what price, guys? At what price?
Yeah.
But
3 second-round
There you
picks
go.
and
Yeah.
Victor
But
Oladipo.
seriously, it's. I think that overall it'll be good for the team, for the personality. It'll add just another extra layer of toughness in addition to Jeff Green if he stays next year. But overall, I'm actually okay with the trade. barring anything else, I mean, if it does lead to a bigger deal, remains to be seen. That can definitely be something that can be used and placed upon this deadline, but we'll see. Who knows? But I will say that if everything stays where it should, Steven Adams as a backup center to LP will definitely work wonders for him, I believe.
No, absolutely. DJ, over to you right now. I mean, you told me how you felt off camera.
Yeah.
So bring it to the world at large. How are we feeling about the Steven Adams deal?
I feel the same. Like, I don't understand it. Like, if you're thinking long term, okay, what Justin said, he's a great backup big. He's probably one of the best in the league. Great screen setter. I think if let's just say Amin is still our backup point guard next year, he's a great center for Amin Thompson, especially in the pick and roll game.
Absolutely.
But if this team was serious, or if this team says they're serious, like they say they were, about making a run for the play-in or playoffs or whatever this year, you got to get a serviceable big right now.
This year.
This year. Like, okay.
Talk to him.
Yeah, like if Steven Adams are healthy, okay, I wouldn't have no complaints. We got him for nothing. Okay, cool, but the man is out for a year. I think there is something else coming, but overall, I think this is a TBD trade because we don't know if we're going to keep him or if he's going to be a part of this team next year.
Yeah.
I do agree with he's going to give Sengun like a whirlwind practice. Like, he's going to like make it tough for him. He's not going to like, make it easy or whatever.
You love to see it though.
Like Sengun's going against guys like Jock Lando, and no disrespect to him, but Jeff Green, and Jeff Green's not really a center. Jeff Green is a stretch 4, maybe a 3, but
that's been my whole issue too.
Like if he's here next year, then this is a great practice. Like, this is a great practice piece for Sengun. Like, it gives him like more of a feel of how the center position is guarding the post game, not just Jock Landale sorry ass or Jeff Green. So I don't know. I'm kind of like in the middle with this trade. What are we gonna do with this? I think there's, like I said, there's got to be something big on the horizon. I think he's part of something else. We'll see.
Yeah,
so that's how I feel. TBD.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, for me, anyways, I love Steven Adams as a player. I love what he brought to the table.
Yeah, he's a great teammate.
Like a great teammate. Great teammate. Great player.
There's no like
serviceable big.
There's all of his former teammates. There's no like bad things said about Steven Adams.
Yeah,
I think that's for certain. So,
but this is the crux and everything. It's like he's a great teammate next year. He's a serviceable big next year. He'll be a great practice piece for Sengun next year. It's like that's the big problem. That's why Rockets fans in particular, are confused. Like us at the table right now, we can all agree that there is a slight confusion. It's a great deal if they're looking at next year, but all accounts and purposes, for everything that they said, to everything that we've heard, they want to make the play in this year. So it's a little puzzling. It's like when you can make a trade for a Clint Capella. If there is a Clint Capella trade on the table, why would you otherwise make this trade for Steven Adams, who's making $12 million a year, so who's going to eat some salary? He's on the team. He's on the books till 2025, so till the end of next year, end of next season. So it's a little puzzling. It would make more sense if they were going to maybe group him into a bigger deal, maybe. Yeah. But like I said, we're not sure what's going to happen. It's a very puzzling deal. The positives I see off the gate is you get Victor Oladipo's contract off the books. You start kind of trickling out these slew of picks that you own, like this gold mine of picks. Otherwise, I mean, I'm in the same boat as y'all. It's a good deal for next year, but it really is TBD right now. But like I said, there's a lot of moving parts that can be done in terms of what else the Rockets are going to do. But like it doesn't do anything for us now. Victor Oladipo didn't even play for us all season, so it literally doesn't move It doesn't move the needle back. It doesn't move the needle forward. The needle literally just stays in place. So we'll see what happens. 1 week from the trade deadline, we will be here on YouTube for a post-trade deadline show for y'all next week. So be on the lookout for that, which will come out a little bit after the trade deadline does complete. So y'all be on the lookout for that. Who will be the new teammates for the Houston Rockets for Alperen Sengun? We'll see what happens. Boys, let's get ready to move on to our next segment right now. The Houston Rockets. after taking a good win against the LA Lakers, they ultimately took a frustrating loss, to say the least, to the Pelicans, 110-99. A team that, in my opinion, they needed to beat to stay within contention, to stay within striking distance of the play-in. And it helps, too, because the Pelicans are hovering. They're like the 7th seed right now. So if you can kind of knock them down as well. Those teams are hovering around play-in territory. You want to get these wins so you can start knocking them down. Because I explained this in the last episode where I was like, to get in, you got to knock someone out. That's the only way. Like the 9th and 10th seed, which is LA and the Utah Jazz, you got to knock them out to get in. One of those teams has to not make it, essentially. So you need these wins with the teams that are playing the play, and ultimately they lost here. DJ, over to you first. Immediate thoughts on the Rockets versus Pelicans game.
Even though I was pushing for him to be an all-star, it was just a bad shooting game for him. I want to say defensive game as well for him too. He's usually in these past couple matchups have held his ground against Valanciunas, but I don't know. I think Valanciunas definitely had his number yesterday. We couldn't guard the three again. They had so many open threes, especially in the corner. I stress this so much. We have to guard the three. I know that's a good shooting team, but too many wide open threes. I don't want to say like frustrating, but it was just the Brandon Ingram show, if you want to say that. Because we all know Brandon Ingram is a great player.
He got what he wanted last night.
He got what he wanted, yeah. And
Even getting on doubles, and he still got the plays he wanted.
I remember one shot he had, and he was in the post, and it was in the corner, and he faded away, and we brought the double team too late, and he still made it. I was like, yeah, this is one of the games for Brandon Ingram. Because usually when he do that, it's usually a miss, or it's usually a miss.
Right.
But I wouldn't say frustrating. I mean, the Pelicans were motivated to win this game because if you were to lose 3 games to us, and I'm not calling us trash or anything, but like the Pelicans are kind of the more better team, especially with the more better players.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. But
that makes sense.
They were missing Zion and Herb Jones last night.
Yep.
So I think they were motivated to like say, hey, let's not lose 3 games to these dudes. You know, let's go out here, knuckle up. You know, Valanciunas, stop letting Sengun, punk you around, get you to foul out. Nah, they did what they supposed to do. It's
Valanciunas cooked too. He had 25 and 14.
Yeah, looking like prime Shaq. I mean, fucking God.
Shaq.
And him and Brandon Ingram looking like Shaq and Kobe. Like they just got what they wanted.
It was ugly.
Yeah, it was ugly, but I wouldn't say frustrating. We have to do better, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I think Sengun, he had a good game against the Lakers. It just wasn't his night against the Pelicans. Jaylen Green, man. I don't know if we're gonna talk about it, but man.
No. I mean that we can weave this in. Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, I don't know who said what to him, but it's fucking working. He's fucking hooping. I mean, fucking amazing. These past couple games, especially last night, he's been fucking amazing. And that's what you want to see out of your hopefully franchise cornerstone.
Yep.
He was just amazing yesterday, and that was one bright spot. I'll give that to him. Jaylen Green has been fucking hooping these past couple games, and he's turning heads now, and I'm glad he's doing what he needs to do. And all I ask, consistency. Just be consistent. You can have that 1 or maybe 2 bad games, but hey, when you know you're bad, lock the fuck back in and hoop, man. And that's what he's been doing. He's been hooping.
Talk to him, DJ.
And Justin said it before. Like, this doesn't look sustainable, but if it is, man, it's scary. It's fucking scary. So
I love it. I'm here for it. Let's go, Jaylen Green.
Yep.
Jaylen, dude, he's so fucking back. Hey, by the way, boys, round of applause. Welcome to year 3, Jaylen Green. He's finally arrived after a half season in. Let's fucking go.
GM, I said it.
You did. GM, over to you right now. We'll talk immediate thoughts of Rockets Pelicans, but you're like one of Jaylen Green's biggest supporters here on the show.
Yeah.
Publicly, you state it all the time.
YouTube hates it, but it's cool.
Wow.
Damn.
I still love y'all. Go on.
No, they still like my support. It's fine. It's fine. It's fair. We'll start like this. I was not happy with the energy we brought last night to start the game. We started out very flat. New Orleans got to a big lead in the beginning. That's not how you follow up a big win against a big team like the Lakers. And it kind of falls along the MO for what the Rockets do is when they follow up a big win with a kind of a game where they kind of fall flat. That happens, you know. I mean, one thing that I noticed last night. Sorry, Kenny, your son did not score.
Oh yeah,
0 points.
All of his shots were short, so I'm wondering like
something
all
might be
the shots
wrong,
were
or
short.
I think he's fine.
I mean, if you looked at the mechanics of the shot, something just felt flat. But
that's probably the ankle and also the conditioning on top of it. I think it's a bit of both.
Compensating a little bit from recovery, but overall, like DJ stated, Jonas Valanciunas or Jonas Kelsey, depending on how you want to look at it. My man's the third Kelsey brother. Just dominated LP, and I don't want to state that LP, he just didn't look great last night. He was missing buckets at the rim that he normally hits, and that's definitely one of the reasons why. But also when he wasn't hitting shots and he was able to make plays, especially alongside the perimeter, our outside shooting was not hitting. Yeah. So I mean, outside the fact that he wasn't hitting shots, he still did his part in terms of finding open guys. He did his part in that regard. But the overall team effort was not there. And outside of Jaylen Green, who else really performed, frankly, I mean, just wasn't good. It was not a good performance overall at all. I mean, Dylan Brooks took some really bad shots. Fred VanVleet took some really bad shots. It just seemed like everyone was out of sync. People were kind of just playing to what they wanted to do and just like, you know what, I'm going to get my shot because we're down big anyway. I mean, they had that big comeback. They were down 8 with 2 minutes left.
I think they put it to 2.
Yeah, they cut it to 2 in the third. Well, that's what, and that's why I was going to say
it got to 16 in the fourth.
Right, that's the problem, and that's why I was saying it got I was frustrated because of the fact that you got it to as little as 2. You actually went to the fourth quarter down 5.
Yeah.
So it's like,
but you know what happened? I mean? They took out Jaylen Green, and the lead ballooned to 20. Yeah. I mean, you can't play Jalen 24 minutes, but if your shooting guard, who is playing his heart out to prove, like, hey, I belong in this league. I don't just belong in this league. I belong in this team, and I'm a cornerstone. Yeah. And yet he goes to the bench, and the bench players come out and decide, fuck it, we're going to play flat.
God, Aaron Holiday.
It was disgusting.
God.
Gotta go.
I mean,
get him off the court.
Gotta go.
I don't understand why you succeeded when he didn't play against LA, and now you play him. Yeah. I don't get it.
You might as well play Reggie Bullock.
Yeah,
you might as well play Reggie Bullock, frankly. But
Men's healthy. Cam's playing well.
I agree.
What are we doing?
I mean, like these guys just can't hit. They couldn't hit last night, and that's fair. But I'm gonna expand on the Jaylen Green subject with what DJ said. Like the man's been playing his ass off, and I've said it here. I've said it in multiple chats. I don't know if I said it on Twitter, but one thing that I'm very impressed with Jalen is the rebounding. The rebounding has been something that's been a sight to see for this team, not just because of the fact that he's putting himself in the paint and letting the game come to he's making the game come to him, right? It's the fast break. Ime Udoka stated it, Alp ain't the fastest. Fred VanVleet doesn't really move. But Jaylen Green is like a road runner. Shout out to UTSA. Never went to that school, but that's their people. But, Jaylen Green running the break every time with a head of steam, leading it that way. That just adds a different dimension to the team, and a confident Jalen doing that is, with more muscle, could be like a Russell Westbrook type of effectiveness. And that's kind of what you want to see. Just going downhill
and tighter handles
and saying fuck it. Exactly. That's true.
Tighter handles. Definitely needs tighter handles.
We've definitely
to be like Russell Westbrook, anyways.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, he's definitely improved in these games due to his confidence. Whatever he's done, taking Michael's secret stuff, whatever. He's played superbly well, and he's done it within the confines of the offense. Alp's been finding him. Fred's been finding him. Amen's been finding him. He hasn't really been in isolation. It's been mostly on cuts or being placed in position where a play is ran for him as opposed for him having to call for it. He's just been playing so well, and yeah, it can be it might not be sustainable, but the thing about it is he's not doing this in impossible shots, like crazy 3-point shots. He'll take his 1 or 2 step backs a game, but it's not like James taking 10. You know, those are his heat check shots, and he's actually hitting them. But overall aspect, he's hitting shots from the midi and the 3, and he's getting to the paint, all 3 levels. He's been performing like a star that we were hoping. And if he can stay on that level, be amazing. You know, we'd all love it. All I can say is I just really hope this team restores their faith in Jalen and that he should be a core piece. And I really hope that we don't trade him, frankly. I don't see the reason in doing it.
I don't want to.
No.
Yeah.
I don't even want to speak that into the universe.
Yeah, I don't even want to speak to honestly, because him and Sengun complement each other so well.
No, it's perfectly.
They perfectly.
Absolutely, they do.
Yeah, and they support each other too. They're very they're in tune with each other.
Yeah. I'll say this: like some fans want to pit these two against each other, but each other, Jalen and LP, are each other's biggest fans.
They love each
so
other.
if you're trying to separate the two, these guys are homies.
Right? Can I say something? And this is gonna sound very like against the grain here because we've loved him since he came in, and this is like the type of coach we wanted.
Yeah.
I think Udoka needs to expand that playbook and let Jalen and Sengun cook together.
He got to. Man.
I think that's where it is. I think he needs to expand, which we've talked about multiple times, but I think he just. With Jalen playing better now, playing at a level.
Oh yeah, open that son of a bitch up, man.
Open that son of a bitch up now. Like I know you want to hold your young players accountable. You're trying to basically kind of mold them in the image of what you're trying to represent as players. Because he's a stubborn coach. He has what he knows what he wants, and that's fine. However, like it's time to expand that fucking playbook, dude. Like Jalen is playing well enough now. Like go to the bread and butter. Go to the FVV and Sengun pick and roll. It didn't work last night. They doubled, tripled it right out of the shoot, dude. Every time they came into it, they doubled and slipped it in. They left the 3-point shot open. They were basically saying, we're going to give you the 3-point shot. Beat us with the 3-point shot. We're not giving you the FVV Sengun pick and roll.
Well, New Orleans is the best PNR defense in the league, right?
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah,
but not like it didn't work before in the past. It worked. Like, Sengun and FVV were cooking in the past couple games against New Orleans Pelicans, and that's one of my points that I wanted to say in regards to that. That's the reason why Giannis Valanciunas wanted to play well. I think he took that matchup very personally because Sengun was cooking.
Oh yeah,
Valanciunas the first 2 games,
especially the last matchup. He had 37 and 12 on his head.
He remembers. Valanciunas is a competitor. Like these guys remember it. They know that they oh man, like these are the guys that beat us. Like came in. You know, the first game was the in-season tournament game. In-season. So now like they want to come in and like we're not going to take this. Like we're going to come in and we're going to shut down Sengun. We're going to shut down the pick and roll, and we're going to force your 3-point shooters to beat us. And if that's how they're going to beat us, and that's how they're going to beat us. But they chose to do what they want to do to leave because they left enough open threes to win this for us to win this game. Like easily. We just missed a ton of shots. We only scored 99 points. That's unacceptable with the type of offense that we've been running all season. Boys, we got to give us shout outs right now. And another round of applause for fucking Cam Whitmore. Dude's a fucking hooper.
I love Cam.
Oh my God. Boys, past 5 games. I'll give you a stat line. Not stat line, just points. Against Portland, 12 points, 50% from the floor. Charlotte, 24 points, 50% from the floor. Against Brooklyn, 19 points, 6 of 16 from the floor, so under 50. Against the Lakers, 20 points, 7 of 12 from the field. Against the Pelicans, 6 of 12, 17 points, 50% from the field.
That's crazy.
I think we may have found another hooper, and his name is fucking Cam Whitmore.
Steal. That's 3 years in a row. Steal. That's crazy.
In the mid-rounds.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alperen Sengun, Tari Eason, and now Cam Whitmore. Yep. That's why I don't mind us we don't even need a top pick. Like fuck, like Stone knows what and his scouting department knows who to draft in the mid first rounds.
Yeah.
Shout outs to them right now. Real quick though, I just wanted to give him flowers for Cam Whitmore. Overall play opinions on his play overall. DJ.
It's fucking electric, man.
He's an electric factor.
Especially the electric guy.
He's electric factor.
Fucking crunk. Scoring 9 straight
in like 80 seconds.
Yeah, bro. Like,
what are we doing?
Yeah, I don't know who's in that scouting department, but keep fucking doing it with the mid-round talent. I mean, you talk about a top 5
potential.
Yeah, prospect potential in the draft that went 20. and fell for no reason. Shout out to the Lakers for
bad
passing
interview.
on him.
Bad interview. Like
bad
that's
interview,
it. Like
health
that's what we're
issues.
doing.
Hey, whatever. It worked. He fell to us. Shout out to the Lakers for passing on him. You know, we could say the Heat and the Warriors, but Jaime Jaquez and Podzimski, they're playing well with their respective teams. Jalen Hood-Schifino, what the hell has he done this year? Zero. Nothing. Cam Whitmore, fucking electric. That's all I got to say about Cam. He's fucking electric.
Electric Factory at 40% three-point shooting this season.
Yeah.
The best three-point shooter on the team so far stat-wise. GM, over to you. Cam Whitmore.
Man, you remember how I felt in the preseason when he would shoot a jumper. I said, that's baby Melo right there. And essentially
It's
that's
a
kind of
smooth
like what it
jumper.
is.
It's
you
a
know?
smooth fucking
I'm not
jumper.
saying that he's going to be Carmelo Anthony. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the shot is very reminiscent of what Carmelo Anthony did. And him coming off the bench, man, he's got some microwave type talent, man.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and he comes in, instant heat. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just a dude that comes in and he makes buckets. That's what we need on this team. And the fans have been clamoring for Cam Whitmore to come off the bench. And sure enough, Ime was like, you know what? Let's bring him up. You know, injuries happened, called him up from the G League, and he hasn't gone down since. And good thing, because that's something that we've needed off the bench, especially where we're missing Tari.
Yeah.
And we've been saying, like, when Tari comes back, you know, there are going to be players that aren't going to be getting PT anymore. But Cam will not be one of those guys. And it's a sight to see. It's a different type of play that we're not accustomed to, especially with the rosters that we've had the past few years. Cam Whitmore is just a sight for sore eyes. And I'm very happy to see it, man. And to see the fact he's shooting 40% from three, it's like, yo.
He's that
we
Jamal Crawford,
Dude,
Lou Will
I
type
know.
of energy off the bench.
There you
Like,
go. That's what you need.
Yeah.
And,
Dude, him
and his personality is perfect.
Dude, him and Tari. When Tari comes
Oh,
back,
yeah, it's
oh
about-
my God.
Next week, man, when Tari comes back, it's about to be, oh, man.
Oh my
It's about to be nasty.
I can't wait.
It's about to be nasty up in
we
here.
we make a one trade or whatever. We get the whole team healthy. Oh yeah,
Oh,
I'm excited.
my God.
I'm
We
excited,
we got to make
man.
a run. We'll make a
man,
run.
We're gonna
for
make
sure.
a run, dude. I just want to see. I want to see some wins happen. I need a win streak.
Yeah.
I'm excited, guys. I mean, overall, like a tough loss, but definitely some good positive take out of it. I think it was a very winnable game.
Yeah.
Definitely could have won. We'll see what happens in the future games. Obviously, we got Raptors obviously tomorrow. We haven't done this in like a little over a week now, so let's go ahead and talk about it. Let's talk about on our last segment, obviously, our DAWG
Dawg
of the week.
Boom.
Oh, that was nice. We should probably start doing it like that.
Beautiful.
Or y'all do dog of the week. That sounds fantastic. All right, boys, let's talk about our dog
Love it.
of the week. What is that? Our dog of the week is basically another word for saying our MVP. Our MVP of the week. The player that's outshined and performed the best for the Houston Rockets. Player or coach even. DJ, over to you first.
I'm not gonna say Jaylen Green. Y'all can say it, but I'm saying Cam fucking Whitmore.
I
man.
knew it.
Cam
I
fucking
knew it.
Whitmore. Coming
Hey,
off the
is that our first bench player?
first bench player
To get
I think
dog of
so.
the week?
Yeah, I think
That's
so.
Right?
fair. I mean, he's played like a dog.
Yeah, he's
that's
been.
for sure.
He's really has.
Yeah.
I mean,
I respect the
he
decision.
really is the only bench player that's gotten the title from me. I don't know about you guys.
I know,
Definitely not.
I've not given a bench player
Well,
dog of the
not
week
me.
honors yet.
I'm the first. Well, I guess I'll be the first one.
The
Y'all give it-
inaugural.
I'm giving it Cam Whitmore, man. Like I say, electric. Off the bench, he's doing his thing. He has his moments where he needs to pass the ball, but when he doesn't pass the ball, I'm like so confident when he shoots the fucking ball, it's going in. It's going in. I'm like, yeah, that bitch going in.
He's your catch and shoot guy.
Yeah, he is. He is. The future is bright for him. He's amazing. Like I say, he's like that Jamal Crawford, Lou Will type of scorer off the bench where, hey, get in the game and go get us some points. And he does it, man. And I wish he didn't turn down the dunk contest. I want to see him in the dunk contest. That'll be the third straight year that we have a Rockets player in the dunk contest.
I know.
But it is what it is. He's focused on, more. He's focused on bigger and more, and that's fine. But I'm giving it to Cam Whitmore. He's been great for us.
You love to see it. GM, over to you right now.
Oh, bro.
Dog of the week.
Everybody knows.
Tell me why it's
Everybody
Steven
knows.
Adams.
Him.
Tell me why it's
Exactly.
Steven Adams.
My man from New Zealand. You already know. Dude, the dog of the week's Jaylen Green. Come on, guys. Let's be real here. What are we even doing? It's Jaylen Green. The man's been performing. He's been killing the game. My man's putting up almost near triple-double numbers, having his first double-double, and then doing it 3 times in a row.
That's nuts.
Like,
That's
what?
insane.
What? Yes,
Dude
my
realized
boy,
he's 6'5" with like a 6'10" wingspan. He's like, I can fucking.
He's
I
been
can get these
performing.
rebounds
And
easily.
His vertical is crazy.
He knows
too,
he knows what he's been called upon.
Yeah.
He's been challenged, and he's welcomed that challenge, and he's beaten it by flying colors. So the man's performed. I mean, I'm not going to go any more into Jaylen Green. You guys already know how I feel. My man's been performing. It is what it is. Get over it.
Let me tell you why despite the fact that he did not play for 2 weeks. Let me tell you why Jabari Smith is my dog. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. No. Man, that's hard. So you got dog of the week at camp. Because I was split between the two because I think both of them have been phenomenal as of late. I think they both earned their stripes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lean Jaylen Green just because.
That's fine.
Yeah,
I mean, he's look.
And it's not a strong lean. It's just like because like honestly, if I could split the vote, I would give it to both. I would honestly just give it to both of them. And I think they've both, along with Sengun, Sengun laid an egg last game, but obviously like these three have kind of become like the crux of the offense, which has been great. The only thing is I just want this to translate to wins now. That's the only thing. They played phenomenally as of late. So Jaylen Green, Cam Whitmore, Dawg of the week. I was gonna say dog of the week. Dogs of the week.
Dogs of the week.
Dogs of the week. Drop your dogs of the week right now on YouTube on the comments. I'm curious to see who your dog of the week is for the Houston Rockets. Boys, let's get ready to go home here. But before I go home, I cannot go home without, of course, doing a segment about Celebrity Mint. You like how I pulled that out? DJ?
I was like, wait, what is he doing?
You can hold that.
Okay.
Out of thin air, Celebrity Mint, family owned, a Houston-based company. We're proud to call a part of the Apollo family. Of course, they had already debuted their new sports memorabilia, the Mike Tyson Legends series made of silver and gold, and the Ric Flair Legends series. Both collections are available. Oh yeah, can we give a woo? Woo! Both collections can be found right now on CelebrityMint.com. Give them a follow right now on their socials at the Celebrity Mint. Boys, let's go home on another successful episode. Obviously, I'd like for the Rockets at some point to give us some good news so we can pop into the studio. Maybe, guys, cross fingers, do your prayers, light your scented candles, do whatever you got to do to hope that by the time we come next Thursday, a trade happens and we can be like, fuck, let's fucking go. Let's, Harrison Barnes is a Rocket. Let's fucking go. Clint Capella's a Rocket. Let's fucking go. Quentin Grimes is a Rocket. Let's fucking go. Just any players that can help the Rockets. Let's hope that.
Hopefully Jock Lando is not on this team or not in this city anymore. So,
I know you were disappointed in the fact that he wasn't included in that Steven Adams deal.
He should have been.
He should have been.
Frankly.
I don't understand why he didn't. He actually could have been. I was like in my head, I'm like, he should have been
Probably
included.
because they could still use him for a week until he gets traded.
We could use you for 7 more days, I guess, for bench purposes. All right, let's get ready to go home here. GM, give the people what they want one time.
Well, everyone, make sure to follow me on Twitter at JP_Mirabueno. Make sure to follow the podcast on Twitter and TikTok at Summit SOMPOD. Make sure to follow the podcast on Instagram at Summit State of Mind _POD. I got that right? And make sure to follow us, our brothers, our fam over here at Apollo NBA and at Apollo HOU. Make sure to super kick that subscribe button on YouTube so you can get notified for any of our episodes for the Summit. Also, we got our NFL podcast hosted by Stoney with Garrett and Noah, Play Action Takes, and our Apollo NBA podcast, Zero Gravity, with Stoney again, and our Houston Rockets beat writer, Josh Garcia. Boo.
Well done. DJ, where can they follow you one time? Is there anything else you have to say before we close here?
Only on Twitter at Hustletown Season, SZN for season. That's it, man. I'll be on there ranting. I'll be doing stupid crap on my Twitter.
I love your Twitter, by the way. I'm gonna close on that.
I'm entertained constantly,
dude. Entertaining content. Like, give him a follow, guys. Like, he has fun ass content. Like me, I'll just talk about wrestling. I'm boring as hell.
I'll talk about any fucking.
Yeah,
thing.
he really will, and
Anything.
it's fucking fantastic.
It's true.
At Hustletown Season. You can also follow me on Twitter as well, at Summit Commish. Of course, shout-outs to our Apollo podcast brethren that continue to kill the game. Shout-outs to BTD, Beyond the Diamond, the crown jewel of Astros podcast. Be sure to give them your first listen for all Astros content. Shout-outs to the Apollo Texans off the gridiron. Be sure to give them your first listen for all Houston Texans content. I was getting Houston content. And we thank each and every one of y'all for making us your first listen for all things Houston Rockets. 7 days away from the trade deadline. Hold on to your butts. It's about to get real tight up in here. So we're very excited to see what happens. Alperen Sengun snubbed from the All-Star game. Steven Adams is a Houston Rockets. So drop a comment right now. Let us know what you think. Let's get ready to go home here with my usual saying, go Apollo, go Summit, and Rockets. Hey, for our sake,
go on a win streak.
Yeah, for our sake, give us something fun to talk about when we come back next week.
I'm tired of this sobby, sad crap, man. Go on a win streak.
There it is. Go Rockets. DJ, do the thing.
Yeet.
Yeet.
Yeet.